Every time we argue, my wife threatens to end our marriage. Yesterday, when she brought it up again, I simply said, okay, and walked out. Right now, I'm staying at my friend Zara's place, trying to make sense of everything. We've been together for 8 years, married for 6. We were high school friends before getting together, and now we have a 5-year-old daughter. I'm the one who handles most of our finances since my wife decided to quit her job about 2 years ago. Our arguments usually happen once or twice a month. I want to be clear, I do my part at home. I help with our daughter, handle the cooking, and keep the house clean. I'm involved in their lives as much as I can be. The first divorce threat came up when Zara needed a place to stay because of some problems with her boyfriend. When I offered to let her stay with us, my wife got really upset. I reminded her that just a month before, her friend had stayed at our place for over a month without helping out or even properly introducing herself to me or our daughter. Meanwhile, Zara has always been great with our daughter and gets along well with both of us, or at least I thought she did with my wife too. Zara ended up staying for just a week, and she helped out a lot around the house. I thought we had moved past that incident. Most of our fights start over small things, and honestly, I'm rarely the one who starts them. I've suggested going to counseling multiple times, but my wife always insisted we didn't need it. Last night was the final straw. She started arguing about how I was working too much, saying I was abandoning her and that I wasn't being a good father. Then came those words again. I want a divorce. I couldn't hold back anymore. I stood up and told her that the only reason I work so many hours is because of her spending habits. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have said my money instead of our money, but I was frustrated. We had agreed to split our finances between bills, savings, our daughter's future, and personal spending. She refused to look for work or go back to school, even though I've been supporting our family completely. I've never missed our daughter's school events, doctor's appointments, or anything important. I just couldn't take it anymore. I told her I'd have my lawyer prepare the papers. I packed some of our daughter's things, and we want to stay with Zara. It's been 2 days now, and my wife keeps calling and texting. She says she's sorry, that she didn't mean it, that she wants to try counseling now, that she needs me, misses me, but I don't know what to believe anymore. I do love her, and she's a wonderful mother to our daughter, but I feel stuck. I've known my lawyer for years through work and family connections, so at least I have good legal support. But I just don't know what the right thing to do is anymore. After sharing my situation online and getting different perspectives, I took some time to think things through. Finally, I decided I needed to show her just how serious the situation was. We met up and had a long talk where I made it clear that I couldn't handle these fights and divorce threats anymore. She promised she wouldn't bring up divorce again, and we agreed to try couples therapy. The therapy sessions were eye-opening. We both shared things we'd never told each other before, and having a professional help us understand each other's viewpoints made a real difference. After several sessions, I started to see positive changes. She began looking for jobs, made some new friends at work once she found one, and even picked up painting as a hobby. Things seemed to be getting better until we had another argument. It started because we had planned to take our daughter to her favorite park, but my wife had double booked with her new work friends and couldn't cancel. The argument itself wasn't huge, but what she said at the end changed everything. She muttered under her breath, "I knew marrying you was a mistake." When I looked at her in that moment, it was like looking at a stranger. I asked her to repeat herself, and she said, "I should have divorced you years ago." Without saying another word, I took our daughter to the park by myself. After that incident, I filed for legal separation. The terms were clear. We would remain legally married but couldn't date other people during the separation period. We split our finances but kept sharing bills the same way, and I continued providing insurance through my work. We both agreed to continue therapy, both individually and as a couple. I moved in with Zara, and we arranged shared custody of our daughter. I got her 70% of the time, and my wife got her 30%. The real shock came a few weeks later. I had to attend an important work meeting, so I asked my wife to watch our daughter. I told her a week in advance, and she agreed. When I went to drop our daughter off at what used to be our house, I noticed an unfamiliar car in the driveway. I figured it must be one of her friends visiting. I rang the doorbell, which felt strange since it used to be my house too, and waited with our daughter. Then a young guy, probably in his early 20s, opened the door without a shirt on. He asked who I was, like I was some stranger. When he called for my wife, she came around the corner wearing just a robe. I'll never forget how her face changed when she saw me, from curious to shocked to horrified to sad, all in a matter of seconds. After seeing that, I knew exactly what I needed to do when our 3-month legal separation ends: file for divorce. The agreement we had signed during our separation was clear about not seeing other people, but she broke it anyway. Through all of this, my main concern has been our daughter. She doesn't fully understand what's happening. She just knows that mommy and daddy aren't happy together anymore. I've been trying my best to shield her from all the adult problems, making sure she still feels loved and secure. The whole situation has made me think about my own childhood. Growing up, I watched my dad get angry at my mom until she finally left, and then he took out his frustrations on me. I promised myself I'd never put my own child through anything like that. But here I am, ending up in a broken marriage just like my parents. Sometimes I wonder if I even know what a healthy relationship looks like. The patterns we grow up with have a way of following us, even when we try our hardest to be different. But there's one big difference between my situation and my parents. I'm determined to break this cycle. I'm focusing all my energy on being the best father I can be. Maybe I couldn't make my marriage work, but I can make sure my daughter grows up knowing she's loved. I want her to understand what healthy relationships look like, even if I'm still figuring that out myself. Looking back at everything that happened, I realize I tried my best to make things work. I encouraged my wife to find her own interests, make friends, get a job, anything that would make her feel more fulfilled. I suggested therapy multiple times before she finally agreed. But you can't force someone to change if they don't really want to. They might go through the motions, but unless they truly want to change, it won't stick. I'm not saying I was perfect in all this. I made my share of mistakes too. But I couldn't keep raising our daughter in an environment where she might think it's normal to threaten divorce every time there's a disagreement. I couldn't let her grow up thinking that's what love looks like. Living with Zara has been helpful. She's been through her own relationship problems and understands what I'm going through. She helps with my daughter when needed and gives me space when I need to think things through. Having this support system has made a huge difference. These past few months have been a roller coaster of emotions. From hoping we could fix things through therapy, to dealing with a separation, to finally accepting that divorce is the right choice. It hasn't been easy. But when I look at my daughter's smile, I know I'm making the right decision. She deserves to grow up in a peaceful environment, even if that means her parents aren't together. I don't know what the future holds, but I know one thing for certain: I'll keep putting my daughter first. Maybe I couldn't give her the perfect family I dreamed of, but I can give her all my love and support. And maybe that's what matters most in the end. I'm grateful for all the advice and support I've received from friends and even strangers online. Their perspectives helped me see things more clearly and gave me the courage to make these tough decisions. Sometimes it takes outside voices to help you realize what you already know deep down. Now, as I prepare to file for divorce, I'm focusing on healing and moving forward. It's not the ending I wanted for my marriage, but it's a new beginning for me and my daughter. And maybe, just maybe, we'll both learn what healthy relationships really look like along the way. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button to help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might enjoy it too. Your support means a lot. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or story ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.